but a native outlook, and so Comptroller Green, I know I've addressed it, you've addressed it. I'd like to give you an opportunity to discuss that a little bit.
Absolutely. I think the report underscores several different things. One, it still shows that the city of Houston's geo credit is still a big credit, and that it is still very much sought after in the markets. But it also puts us on notice that all of the things that we've talked about, we've talked about, and everyone at this table has talked about it, that we've got to control expenditures, that we've got to do something with pension costs, and that we have to address the red cap issue. All of those are outlined in the report, and I think that this puts us on notice that, talk is good, but we probably have to be a little more aggressive about what we do. Now, understandably, we need some help from other sources, not just from the stable, but now is the time to start talking to constituents and talking to the public about essentially what cuts may need to be made, because that is certainly one of the issues when you talk about expenditures. But at the same time, letting your constituents know, and letting our constituents know that we've got to make those tough choices, but we're also going to need some help from those constituents at some point. And I'm going to put it out there, nobody else has to amen this, but at some point, whether it goes to the public or not, the red cap issue is going to be a serious issue. It's not the only issue that's outlined there, but that's something that the public instituted years ago, but it's something that the public will probably have to address as well, in addition to seeing what this council will do as it relates to the revenue side and the expenditure side.
But our current rating was affirmed, which means there's no impact on the sale of our bonds. It's just they're giving us notice and the public that there are clouds on the horizon if we don't address pensions and revenue limitations.
Ironically, I got 2 emails yesterday from people wanting to buy more Houston papers. So maybe we could advertise them.
Well, at the same time, we get good marks for fiscal management absent those 2 areas.
Absolutely, Mayor. This is something that obviously you and I meet with rating agencies once a year. This is not to be. It wasn't. We didn't want this to happen, but we certainly are not surprised because the information that Moody's received came from us. So it's not like this is something that was lurking out there that we hid from Moody's. We gave them all this information. We let them know what our concerns are, and certainly when the draft report came out, we had some input. So I'm confident that one, the outlook will be revised as we make decisions down the road, and we will still continue to enjoy success in the market.
Councilmember Christie.
I think she promulgated the same response that I wanted to reiterate today that y'all mentioned yesterday, and we need to shout it out. I mean, to the taxpayer, to the citizens, that we need to cut, limit spending. We probably should have been doing that for a good while, and then solve the pension problem. We have no choice. We have to solve these, and then instead of a questionable tension on the rating, we would have the best rating in every large city in the United States. So thanks for reiterating that.
Councilmember Watkins.
Thank you. Comptroller Green and Kelly, President, I thank you all for your presentation. Maybe I misunderstood what you just said. I didn't hear you say cut and limit spending. I'm not advocating for it. I just thought I heard you say we need to start looking at and talking to our constituents about the potential if we don't address this revenue cap issue. Let me, my question is, explain to me this increase, this $2 million increase in hotel occupancy tax receipts. What typically happens with that revenue, that additional revenue, if it's cash?
If it's cash, I mean, that's basically how we fund the activities of Houston First, and it's also an indication of, which is a good thing, that people are coming to the city of Houston that they're spending money. So.
Okay. Do we have? I'm just curious. Do we have a trend, Comptroller Green, of for the past, I guess, like 2 or 3 years, like during the month of July, I guess during the summer months, you tend to see this number go up as opposed to September, October, November. Like for the past 5 years, we've seen that number go up every summer, which is telling me more people coming into the city of Houston.
I can get you that information, the historical information, but I can tell you from an anecdotal perspective. One, these are numbers from May, first, although we're giving them to you in July. But secondly, it tends to slow down a little bit during the summers at the Convention and Visitors Bureau, at the George R. Brown and all of our facilities.
Okay.
But I can get you the historical information.
Well, I tell you, on a personal note, you're gonna be missed. I know you have a few more months, but you're a straight shooter run, and you really don't truly, you've been an asset to me, but you would definitely be missed when your term is up on the controllers.
Are you saying that because you're my council member? And I should remember that number?
Thank you.
Vice Mayor Pro Tem Davis.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a quick question. Tell of the capital, about capital assets. Do you have from Comptroller and the Finance Director, professional opinion about should we sell more of our property or should we keep it?
Well, from my perspective, I can tell you that what we sell is called surplus property. So we could go off and start selling off a whole lot of things. But if it's not surplus and we end up in a situation where we end up with leases, and we've had that happen before where we sold property and only to find out that we really need it. I think we are doing a decent job that I've seen over the last 12 years that I've been here of assessing what is actually surplus property, and actually have had some successes in it. Now, obviously, those are the one-offs and the icing on the cake, so I don't think you can really budget those, and we haven't been budgeting those we haven't been making those into the budget over the last 5 years, and I think it's something that needs to continue that way.
Director, I agree with the Comptroller. Okay, and when we say surplus, what's I guess if we were to give a legal definition, what would you consider surplus?
I know from my perspective, somebody may correct me, but what we do is there's actually a process. We'll go through, we'll do the space utilization needs, we'll determine how the space was used over the last few years, what the future needs are, and whether it is truly something that, and I think we offer it we still do offer it to each of the departments to determine whether they may need space in the future. And then once it's determined that it is space that nobody can use in the foreseeable future, then we go through the process of getting the bids, getting the appraisals, and put it out for bid.
But I know in the airport, I think in the future, we're gonna do something like that, well, something a little bit different, where we're gonna have our space, we're gonna build out, we're gonna lease that. So do you think that's the way the city should go, maybe in trying to figure out if that surplus property could be used or could be, just wanted by someone else?
Well, one of the things I can say from what I've seen, there are two different things. We try not to go into the landlord business with a lot of people from the outside. I don't think that's what the business that we're in. So if it's property that we can't use for City of Houston activity, we get rid of it. The airport is a little different. That's how they work on concession fees and things of that nature. So they are in the landlord business. So as it relates to an enterprise fund, I think the mission may be different.
Would agree, yes, that's a business-like activity. The airport is, as is the combined utility system and the general fund and your property like the Harry Ashford, the Comptroller said, I don't know that that's our core business is being a landlord, so I would agree.
So if we're facing deficits, do you think we need to have another department, the enterprise department, to be in the landlord business?
Yeah, we theoretically could. I just don't know that we have the property to support that. We don't have enough extra property out there. I mean, I think the areas where we have retail space, obviously, you'll see Houston First as they continue to build. They'll be in the landlord business. You'll see that out at the airports. But from a general fund perspective, I don't see it. Maybe I'm wrong, and maybe somebody else can do further feasibility studies. But I don't see anything right now where we have the need to rent out space.
And it would generate property taxes if a private entity owned business opposed to ourselves, where we can obviously charge us on property
Right.
taxes.
Okay, thank you.